Okay, the word prompt on the Daily Post today is summer. And I decided today that instead of reading a poem or trying to memorise one, I'm just going to try and freestyle it instead to see if I can get a little bit better at this and be less nervous, which isn't really working. Okay, so the prompt is summer. When I think of summer, I straight away think of my teenage years. I live in a seaside town and it's my hometown. And it makes me think back when I was younger. And the beach was always an innocent place for me. It was where you went with your family, you went with your friends, you paddled, you played in the sand, you made sandcastles, you brought ice creams and you went on the pier. And then suddenly I had my first swig of ouzo and I discovered the beach had a darker side to it, a different agenda. It was a playground for teenagers who were drunk, horny, and taking whichever drug was on the streets that night. And I wonder if anybody knew this. I wonder if anybody knows this. And now that I'm an adult, I know that looking back, everybody knew this. I knew that every adult was aware of it, and I saw them. They were there. So why does nobody stop it? Unless you have lived in a seaside town, you can't imagine that darker side to the seaside. I understand now all those times when my dad chose to sit on the concrete rather than going and sitting in a beach hut. Age 8, I didn't understand it. Age 9, I couldn't understand it. Why would he struggle to get down onto that cold concrete rather than sit on that bench when that bench was so accessible? Age 10, I thought, what's going on? Why are you doing this? But I was so busy climbing the hills and the trees and the blue tubs that looked like sandwiches that I didn't stop and question him. Age 11, I wondered what's going on here, and then age 12, and my world changed. And suddenly I knew that we don't sit in the beach huts because they're full of piss. Because somebody has vomited in that corner or that corner. We don't sit on those benches because you don't know if you're sitting on somebody's cum or not. After that, when I'd say to my dad, come, let's sit down, let's rest, I automatically went to the wall. I automatically knew, because I knew I didn't want to take him in there because that could have been my puke he was sitting in. It could have been my piss that he was smelling. And that's the worst thing. But you're young and you don't care. And everyone's doing it, and it's normal. But to say that the beach only offered me a dark side would be wrong. The beach is where, when I look back now, I know that I kept every single guardian angel in this world busy, because somehow they got me through from age 12 to my early 20s without me dying or ending up in hospital or prison. And more times than once, the police came along that promenade and they stopped and they said, come on, it's 5 in the morning, it's time to go home. And we would bag it, and we would somehow manage to go back to somebody else's house, and somehow I never ever got took home. And we went back to other people's houses, and there was this one girl. Her dad was a milkman, and as we went through the door, her dad was coming out, and he didn't even bat an eyelid. And she was older than me, and he knew I was younger, and it didn't bother him. And there were other times. There was times when I slept under the stars. We would find cubby holes hidden away, so the police would go past and nobody would see us, and we would just lay there with these covers on top of us and the sand beneath us and bugs crawling on our skin, and all we would see are the stars above and the ebbing tide that was slowly creeping towards us, but we knew would never reach us because we were hidden in that corner. And the stairs were just there, and we would hear the carts in the morning coming past as they came to clean the beaches, and they would bid us good morning. We were familiar faces. And they never asked. They never stopped and said, how old are you? They never said, why are you here? Why are you sleeping on the beach on a Friday night? Why is it Saturday morning and you are here and not at home watching cartoons where you should be? But still, I saw stars. I saw the sun rise at 4 in the morning. I saw moons that glue. I swam in the sea at 4, 5 in the morning. I swam, and who can say that? How many people can say that they did that? And yes, I should have been in school, but I wasn't. And we all have different paths to lead. And that's what the summer is to me. The summer is memories. The summer is memories of times when suddenly, instead of trancing all day long, I was there with my friends. Instead of being in trouble constantly at school, I could relax for 6 whole entire weeks, and I could just be me. And the summer was short denim shorts and knee-high sky blue boots that really hurt my feet, and these stupid orange shoes that left my toes bruised for weeks and weeks after, and yet I wore them anyway, as you do. And summer was living in town. The summer was getting sunburned. The summer was having red raw skin that I knew within a couple of days would be white again, whilst everybody else walked around with perfect tans. The summer did have downsides. The summer was being a teenager and having boobs that were too big for my body, and every man thinking that he could look at them, that he could walk past me and he could comment on the fact that I was all women when I was actually still a teenager. Again.